G's, 4 G's, yeah. 4 G's, 4 G's, 4 G's, let's go. 4 G's, 4 G's, 4 G's, look. Full syndication, full elevation, all generations, we already made it. 4 G's, 4 G's, 4 G's, yeah. 4 G's, 4 G's, 4 G's, let's go. 4 G's, 4 G's, 4 G's, look. Full syndication, full elevation, all generations, we already made it. We got Shaq, Doc, Malcolm, Chris the King, plus the Doc. You know that's like 4 G's. Sports Mind. Real world, real problems, real news, real sports. We gon' let you know right here on 4 G's. 4 G's.
All right, here we go. Welcome to another episode of 4G Sports. All right, I am the OG. But before we get started into all of that, you know what you got to do. Hit the subscribe button, and like Doc always says, hit that bell. So you know every time we come up, and when we start having exclusive, you will know right then and there. All right. And as always, this episode is brought to you by My Cozy Creation and Daphne Cozy. All right? I'm the OG.
I am the king.
You got the Doc.
And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call her Shaq Miller-McCray in the building. What's going on, ladies?
Hi, how are y'all?
Oh, we are good. Tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
Okay, they call me Shaq. I got that name at Georgia State when I first started. And they were like, hey, the first four letters of your name is Shaq. Can we call you that? And you're tall. So I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Y'all can call me Shaq. So I got that name at Georgia State. I'm from South Carolina, a small town called Horatio. Only like 100 people live there. Nobody ever heard of it.
Wow.
I lived there all my life, and then I played basketball for Crestwood in Sumter, South Carolina.
Okay.
And I played for an AU team in Columbia, South Carolina. That's where I got like my exposure to all the other teams. Then I signed with Georgia State in 2015 in November, and went to play with them summer of 2016. And I played my whole 4 years there. I was number 3 in most block shots at Georgia State, and now I play professionally overseas.
All right. Okay.
Very nice.
All right. Well, we're gonna get right into this, Doc.
What's good?
We're gonna do a draft special for this week, and we're gonna start with your team. What do you feel that your Cardinals need to do in the draft, and what would you like for them to do in the draft?
I think with the loss of Patrick Peterson to the Vikings, which I think Arizona has mixed feelings on. We all love Patrick P. He represented the Cardinals very well over the course of his career, but sometimes it's time to move on. So I hope he does well in Minnesota and kind of revives his career. Having said that, even though we did pick up that corner that played for the Patriots and then the Titans, Malcolm Butler, he is 30. He is 31. Robert Alford's on the other side at corner, and he's had injuries the last 2 seasons. So if Caleb Farley or Patrick Surtain, the second, is on the board, I expect the Cardinals are going in that direction. Having said that, though, I wouldn't mind seeing a Najee Harris in a Cardinals uniform. Kenyon Drake went to Oakland, so really the running backs are Chase Edmonds and Benjamin out of ASU. So I think if Najee's on the board, I think you go for it if one of the top corners aren't already there. Because I don't think we need to start reaching for corners either. If it's a corner that wasn't already rated, in that first, second round category, and they're gone, I mean, you have a talent like Najee Harris, or help me with running back out of LSU. I'm drawing a blank on his name right now, but I know that kid's good too, and he enjoys contact, and I think that would be a good mix for those Cardinals, because I was hoping they were going to go after the running back out of Carolina, that left. Was it Mike Davis?
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's a ground and pound. He's that goal line back that you look for. But ultimately, I'm going to say corner is the number one need, and maybe running back is a close second in my eyes. And you can never really have too many linemen. They did a great job. That trade for Rodney Hudson is huge for the center position in Arizona. The line looks a little bit better, but if there's a top tier lineman there, I think you got to go for that too.
All right. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we will do this up until the draft. And next week will be King's turn to talk about his Browns. All right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now, guess what time it is?
What time is it?
It's Doc's Trivia Corner. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Here we go.
We got to get you some music.
I tell you, man. I need my
have
intro
music.
music. He did have the music for me last time. All right, remember. So I'm gonna ask last week's question. You are now free to answer it if you know the answer. I know King don't know it. What is dubbed the king of sports? Do y'all know off the top of your head the king of sports?
I'm gonna let. I mean, even though they put it on the screen, I'm gonna let King try to answer that.
Football, not football. Football.
Football.
Oh, you went with the football.
You win. It is football, soccer. I think what's interesting. I liked that trivia question because I think here in the U.S. we don't truly have a grasp on like how big soccer is worldwide. It's huge.
Yeah.
So that's a great one. Now this next one, you cannot answer. What was the first NCAA basketball team to win 100 games in a row? 100 games in a row.
Okay. That's a good one.
Yeah. So is it A, UCLA, men or women's?
Oh, okay. I was about to ask. Are we talking men or women?
Men or women's? Yeah.
Whoa. Now it
B,
gets interesting.
It does. B,
I know
UConn, University of Connecticut, UConn, those Huskies. Is it C, Tennessee? Pat Summitt, could be. Or D, Old Dominion, way back in the day.
Okay.
As usual, everybody watch the premiere. Answer live on the live broadcast. You answer in the chat, you could win a prize. And play Doc's Corner on all of our social media platforms. We put it up on the gram. We put it up on what do we everybody call it? Tweet and Facebook. We put it up everywhere. So go ahead and play along with us. If you know the answer, let us know. Put it in the chat. Win a prize. That's what's up.
There you go. And that was Doc's Trivia Corner. All right, Doc. Good job. All right. Let's bring Shaq back on in here and let's talk to her for a second.
Bring in Shaq.
There
Shaq.
she goes.
Shaq.
All right, King. Fire away, my brother.
All right, Shaq. I got. How tall are you first and foremost?
I'm 6'3".
Oh, and all three of us. Oh my. So, tell us about your experience playing overseas.
I had a bit of a culture shock actually. I was signing with my agent. He was like, we have the team in Sweden that wants you, but we also have the team in Serbia that wants you. And I'm like, Serbia. I'm like, I'm not sure about Serbia. And he's like, well, I never signed a player to Serbia before, but like it'll be a first experience for both of us. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. Let's do it. I'm down. Like I'm down. Like let's go. So I signed with Serbia, and after I signed with them, I like had to immediately go over like the next week. So I was like, oh my gosh, everything is happening so fast. Like I have to take off from work. I have to tell them I quit. I have to go do all this. I have to spend time with my family. And it was just so much that I had to do in so little time, and I was just freaking out about it. And So I did everything. Everything worked out. I went over. It was an easy process. The team they were great. They were willing to work. It was just the communication for me. They did
Mm.
not
Yeah.
like a lot of them did not speak English at all. So really really hard. And I tried to, we had a translator, but he was not as good. So it was really really hard on that part. And COVID had got really bad when I was over there, so I decided to better myself and come back and to wait until this year where I knew we was gonna get like a vaccine or something.
Hmm.
But other than that, everything was good. It was like the hardest part, I forgot the hardest part about being overseas. The food. Oh my gosh. I miss the American food so bad. I missed it so much.
Oh man, that's funny.
Yeah, yeah, I can relate to that experience from my time in the military and traveling around.
Hmm.
It's different. And the funny thing is, you even see something you recognize like a McDonald's, but let me tell you, it's not the same there either.
It's not the same at all. Not the same at all.
So I know have been overseas now, have done the college thing, played pro ball overseas. Is there any talks with your representation to talk to some of the WNBA teams?
I really want to. I haven't like talked to anybody about it. I
Hmm.
I actually wanted to try out. I just didn't know like the steps to do it, and it would make sense to talk to my agent about it because I'm pretty sure he would know. But I am highly interested in trying to get to the WNBA. I really want to. That's one of my biggest goals.
Okay.
Yeah, for
All
sure.
right. All right. So, what was your experience being the only American on the team overseas?
Um, it was different. It was very very different. Mm, they were asking me a lot of questions. It was like, how do you like it in America? What is it like? They'll be like, is this okay if we do this? Is this okay if we say this? And I'm like, everything's fine. Just be yourself. It was just like, I guess it was a culture shock for both of them because they never like interacted with American, and then I never have been in a foreign country before, so it was like a learning experience for both.
Yeah.
Um, it was just the fact that everywhere I go, but people do it here, but everywhere I go, everybody's staring at me like, oh my gosh, it's American. Oh my gosh, like look at her. But one of the things I did enjoy, it was a lot of tall girls over there. Like I've seen, like here, you don't really see tall girls like that. Like I've seen a lot of tall girls over there. I'm like, wow, like I feel like I belong.
All right. All right.
That's how I feel when I go to Wonka Land.
We're not gonna get him started today.
Please don't. Shaq, don't pay Doc no mind. He got problems. We trying to get him medication now.
Right. So after you're all said and done playing basketball later on in your career, would you want to become a coach or a GM later on in your career?
Definitely a coach. I would love to be a coach. I told somebody this. I think I had an interview with our local paper, and they were asking me when basketball's all said and done, like, what are you gonna do? Like, what are you gonna do with your life? I'm like, I love kids, so like right now I'm working at a daycare because that's what I want to do. I want to open my own daycare when I get older. But I said
Mm.
when it's all said and done, like I'm not gonna be done with basketball. Like basketball is not. It's like this is not gonna be the end.
Hmm.
Like whenever basketball's over, it's not gonna be over. Like I'm going to coach. I'm going to pour my love into somebody else. Like I have to. So I feel like it's my. It's like it's only right, you know. So that's
That's a
what I
beautiful thing
definitely
right
want to
there.
coach.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. When you know something like that, man, share it with the world.
Right.
All right. So I'm gonna ask you from a professional women's basketball standpoint, and I like to qualify it with professional because, like, even when we talk about things like the GOAT in basketball, there's a lot of those playground players that maybe never made it to the NBA that probably would have been in that category. So I'm gonna say, from a professional standpoint, who is the GOAT of women's professional basketball in your eyes?
That's a good question. I have two goats in my eyes.
Okay.
I love Lisa Leslie. Like I love her like
Okay.
forever.
Can't go wrong with that choice.
And my current favorite player of all time, I would say right now, is Sylvia Fowles. I feel like she's so overlooked and she's so good, and I love her. Like I love Sylvia Fowles. I want to play against her so bad. Just say I play Sylvia Fowles. Y'all can't tell me I'm not popping. I play Sylvia Fowles.
Okay. All right. That's all right too. I always wonder about that question because obviously here in Arizona we feel like Tarasi is it. Like that's
Oh yeah,
the MJ of and
Taraji, she's a joke. Yeah,
yeah,
she
like
is.
having seen her live, I mean she could ball. I remember there was a time when the Suns they couldn't run a point guard onto the court to save their life, and I'm like, man, y'all better call Diana up, quit playing.
She's gonna coach one day.
Yeah,
she
really,
is.
really.
All right. You know what? Let me just ask you this one quick question. What made you fall in love with basketball?
I'm gonna be honest, like open. At first, I hated basketball. I hated it. Like when I was little, they tried to make me play basketball. I was tall all my life. I was like, you know how everybody have a short stage and they have big growth spurt? No, not me. I was tall my whole life. So they tried to make me play basketball, and I was like, I would cry when it's time to go to practice. I would make up every excuse for not to go. I hated it, and I want to be a dancer. So turns out, like, I'm not a great dancer at all. So I had to turn to some. I went to middle school. I think it was I just got to middle school my 6th grade year, and I gave up dancing because I was like, yeah, no, this is not for me. And one of the coaches came. His name is Adrian Goodman. Actually, he came and he was like, "Hey, have you ever tried basketball?" And I'm like, honestly, I don't like it. I'm like, but I have nothing else to do, so let me try. And I started practicing with the girls, and I was like, I don't know if I still like this or not. But then like I started actually like competing with them, and he started showing me like the basics from fundamentals to this to that. Like this is why we do this. This is why we do that. And I actually started playing with the older girls in 8th grade. Most of them were in 8th grade. And I started actually being good at it. And I'm like, wow, like I could go somewhere with this. Like, let me keep playing. So then next year I starting because you can't at my school you can't play in 6th grade. Like you can't play. You can only be a manager. So I was only able to practice with them. I couldn't play. Yeah. So when 7th grade came around, I was starting, and I was doing the thing, and I was like, yeah, I think I like this right here. This is this is it. This is what I want to do, like, forever. So that's where I fell in love with it in 7th grade.
Okay. All right. I got another question real quick, King, before you go into off topic. What's your go-to move? You got a drop step, you got a crossover, you got a step back, what you got?
Fade away.
Fade.
My go-to is the crab dribble to the middle and then drop step.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Right to the middle, like a true Shaq.
Right.
True Shaq.
All right, King, give it to her. Let's see how she answered it.
Uh-oh.
All right, Shaq. This is what we call off topic.
Okay.
Answer wisely.
Okay.
Who is a better player, Kobe or LeBron, and why?
Okay, let me tell you. LeBron doing the thing, okay? He's doing his thing. But Kobe is my GOAT. Kobe to me is better than MJ to me. I love Kobe. Like, I want you, Kobe. I'm a Lakers fan, if y'all can't tell. I'm a Lakers fan. I had liked the Lakers since I was born. Like, I never switched up. I never did. Like, Kobe is my GOAT. I love Kobe. The numbers just don't lie. Well, now because of course Kobe retired and everything, and LeBron has been in the league and playing and stuff, but numbers don't lie.
So
All right.
that's my
Hey,
boy
that's
Kobe. So I'm
I
sticking
Hey,
with my answer, Kobe.
I can't even argue with that.
I
I
can't.
have I have one more question now.
Go
What you
ahead.
got?
Go ahead. I know it is coming.
No, it's not gonna be that one. It's gonna be something totally different. It's okay. Being at the women's Final Four is coming up. Who's going to win this year?
Woo,
Ooh.
Okay,
woo.
that's a hard question. Cause actually, I'm rooting for all the underdogs. I don't know if y'all watched the Troy and Texas A&M game. I was praying that Troy won because I could see Troy getting far into it. So like that messed me up when Troy lost, and they should have won, but We're not gonna get into that. And so I was watching South Carolina and
Don
Georgia
Staley.
Tech today. Georgia Tech today, and I honestly would say that it would be at the end. It'll be South Carolina and UConn, but
Mhm.
I'm not sure who will win out of those two. It will be a dogfight.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure. It's gonna be a great game. Since I'm from South Carolina, I'm gonna say Don gonna pull it off.
Don might pull it
Okay.
off.
Yeah,
Okay. So we got to write that down. Shaq is going for South Carolina in the women's turn. All right. We got you.
South Carolina.
We got you.
But UConn is hard to beat.
Oh
Yes,
Right.
yeah,
sir.
Oh, Paige is
yeah.
she.
She
Oh my,
hooping. She's
Well,
hooping.
she's such a
UConn
leader. Such a leader.
UConn plays with precision too. I mean,
Yeah.
everything they do is precise.
On both teams.
Yeah,
Both teams. Yes. Yes.
Very athletic women on those teams.
very,
Yeah.
very well coached.
All right.
It's on
Kate.
me?
Yes, sir.
Sorry.
Are we
I
done?
can't
Are we
hear
done?
you.
Huh?
I'm sorry. It's like y'all breaking up.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead,
Oh,
Kate.
we're done, right? Are we done?
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah. We're going through the credits.
Oh, okay.
It sounds like
Well, Shaq, we want to thank you for coming on the show today. You have to come back and keep doing your thing over there overseas, and like I said, follow your dream and coach, and teach those girls or boys, whoever you want to coach in the future, how to do the right thing.
Yep, and this episode was brought to you by,
I'm sorry.
like
I
OG
can't
said,
hear
My
anything.
Cozy Creations. Yeah, you all right? We're just gonna close out. We're gonna say this was brought to you by My Cozy Creations, and watch out next week for Coach episode 49 with Coach Don Almazan. OG to you.
Yes, sir. Let's see how we gonna knock this out. Now 24 hours, 7 days a week. You have total access. How? Go to 4gsports.com. Sports. The last S in sports is a Z. You can find everything you need. Past episodes, bios on us, merchandise, shirts, masks. We never know what else you can get. Magnets. You might have a hat pretty soon. Some short set, maybe a sweatsuit. But you got to go to the website and check it out. All right. All right, Doc. Go ahead. Shout out, baby.
I'm gonna sign off. Shout out my middle son Travis. Man, he got cleared by the surgeon much earlier than we thought, and he was back on the field this weekend, getting some reps. Appreciate the King for coming out and supporting, and it's nice to see him back out there. So shout out to Travis, man, and I hope the season ends well and healthy. No injuries.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Shout out, Trav.
You want me to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna give a shout out. You stole my shout out, Doc. I want to give a shout out to Travis too, man. Takes a lot of guts and courage to get back out there after his surgery, man. It was good seeing him out there smiling, having a good old time. Shout out to Scotty too, and tell Travis he could have shared some of that donut with me yesterday. He wasn't being very nice. He wanted to share that donut. I was sitting there starving to death, bro, and he just ate the donut right in front of me with no remorse whatsoever.
Smooth in front of everybody. Don't even care.
Shout out to Travis though.
Man, you know what? Let me give a shout out to Travis for making it back, Scotty, and to Jeremiah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jeremiah had a little boo-boo last week, but he's getting better. But I want to shout out them. Shout out, since I'm shouting out the kids, let me shout out Vash, my daughter Yana, my daughter Deshanae, and 4G Sports, of course, always and forever. You know what I mean? And I guess we lost Shaq, but
Yeah, I think we
all
lost
the
Shaq.
information, all the information will be definitely in the description below for anything you need. And if for whatever reason, Shaq, I'm telling you now, you get signed, you have a tryout, you have anything, you go back overseas, let us know. We will follow you. We want to hit you up during the season, see how everything is going, okay? But
No doubt.
other than that, oh man, we'll see y'all next week. 4Gs, you know what we do. We out, baby.